Speedway, a track that has stood since 1909 and has hosted many historic events here, from the Indianapolis 500 to the Brickyard 400, even to the first ever road course race for NASCAR just 2 years ago. And now it's going to hold sight to even more history. Today here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, we host our first ever RCOM Papa John's Truck Series race with a very familiar event that was ran since 2020, the Indiana Bash. This is the season opener for these Papa John's Truck Series drivers. They'll be running in collaboration with the Indianapolis 100, which will be ran tomorrow by the time that you're seeing this. And then also the Indianapolis 250 festivities with the Haas IndyCar Series that is also here as well. And a good portion of these drivers are competing in both, as well as this race right here, the season opener for the RCOM Papa John's Truck Series. This should be a very interesting race. Only 20 laps of action here. It'll be fun to watch to see these drivers navigate their way through a racetrack that has all Firestone rubber put down here on this racetrack, and now we're going to be racing here with the Goodyear rubbers. So I don't know what to expect, man. I mean, the sun's out, the track is slick, so these drivers might slide around. One thing that we've seen throughout many of the years here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway is 3 wide obviously just does not work on corner entries. You don't want to go 3 wide here, because if you do, you're going to spell a lot of disaster for everybody else, whether it be in front of you or even behind you. More particularly behind you, because that's a vast majority of the field that you'd be taking out if you go 3 wide. So 2 by 2 normally would be the most preferred way to go, and expect this lead to change every so often. But either way, it should be pretty interesting to watch here. These trucks aren't going to be as fast as the Indy cars, so we might have ourselves a little bit of a slower race, but it is half the distance of the Indianapolis 100 and about a fifth of the distance of the Indianapolis 250. So this should be fun to watch. Before we go on and get on down to our command here, the front row, as you see, is the number 52 that is being driven by Reggie Fogelman, and the number 88 being piloted by Mitchell Hodak. A pair of Toyotas occupy the front row here for the first ever RCOM Papa John's Truck Series. These drivers are strapped into their race trucks. Pre-race ceremonies are just now starting to wrap up, but in order to get these 36 behemoths rolling out for their pace laps, we got to get the command to fire the engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
Engines are fired, pace truck is rolling off, and so are these 36 drivers as they roll out for the pace laps. Here's your starting lineup for the Indiana Bash. The field has just taken 1 to go, and we're getting ready to go green flag racing here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As you see there, as just a recap on the front row, that is the number 52, that is Reggie Fogelman, and Mitchell Hodak driving the 88 starts alongside. In the second row is Jordan Watt in the 3, and just a little update for the driver of Trey Smith. The 38 was supposed to be a part of this roster, but unfortunately, it got lost in the matrix somewhere. But so instead of the 28, Trey Smith will be driving the 38 and will be starting 4th here in this race. In the 5th row is in the 3rd row, Derek Hamill, and then you also got Brett Kenningberg, William Brock, Emily Anderson, Allison Rain, and also rounding out the top 10 is the 20 of Zoe Summer. Here they come. Off of turn number 4. The pace truck is off. To continue on with Indianapolis 250 festivities, we're going to get the season opener for the RCOM Papa John's Truck Series underway. Let's go racing in Indianapolis. There looks like there's a bit of 3 wide going on here in the middle of the pack. It looks like they might have just gotten that sorted out. That's the 16 of Mitchell Collins, who I thought was going to be in a 3 wide situation. Looks like that's not the case. Meanwhile, coming through turns 3 and now coming out of turn 4 now, it's Jordan Watt in the 3, starting in the 3rd position, and he's already jumped out to the front here. And he is all by himself for the time being. He'll lead the first lap of action here at Indianapolis. So far, he's been able to pull away here from these other 35 trucks. You see the 44 of Derek Hamill moving up to 2nd. William Brock is going to open up that door and going to take the inside. And is going to most likely pull up alongside here of Derek Hamill, and Brock may take the 2nd position away by the time they get to turn 3. Allison Rain in the 17 almost opened up the door for Owen Crafton to drive underneath. Looks like she thought twice of it, and that is a good decision on her part. So now Rain moves up and tucks in the 3rd position. Battle for 4th with Owen Crafton, Derek Hamill, and Josh Williamson in the 23 has joined the frame. Reggie Fogelman and also Mitchell Hodak, our front row, has fallen back quite a few positions. They're still inside the top 10, but they're slowly starting to fade away. Not really the case here for Mitchell Hodak. Hodak is now, looks like he's 6th for the time being. 24, Madison Tall has moved up, looks like in the 7th position. Mitchell Collins trying to get by this 44 of Derek Hamill. Meanwhile, up at the front, it's still all Jordan Watt, who has led since the drop of the green flag. Managed to get the lead away from Reggie Fogelman and others, and he's been up front ever since. Allison Rain still in the 2nd position. Trying to get a good draft here, trying to get a close draft on this number 3 of Jordan Watt. Meanwhile, Owen Crafton tried to take a peek underneath, and William Brock wasn't able to make the pass quite work. As they come off of turn 2. Down the back straightaway, we got a crash. Oh, this is going to be much bigger than what it was as soon as it happened. That's the 45 on the inside, that's Shauna Martin. 91, Addison Jarrell, the 40. That was Sophia Frignitti. She was one of the first trucks I saw go around, and I believe that is the 99. That has to be the 99. Either John Stewart or Chris Reynolds. And then indeed is Chris Reynolds. Caution flag is out. Coming back to the stripe, it will be the number 3 of Jordan Watt, leading them back to the yellow flag. Man, just think if that was the finish of the race right there. So first yellow of the day is out. And it comes out on lap number 4. Impressively, we did not have a caution flag on the opening lap of the race. There's the 99 of Reynolds coming in. Reynolds has just not really had himself the best Pepsi Amateur Series season back in 2021. He got off to a pretty decent start this year before it kind of came to a halt, but trouble strikes him early in the going here at Indianapolis in the first ever truck race. And he is done for the day, unfortunately. So, first caution, as I mentioned, is out. It's Jordan Watt leading the way. Let's go back and see what happened that caused our first yellow of the day here at Indianapolis. So this was an incident coming into turn number 2, and it looks like Chris Reynolds in the 99 might have slid up quite a ways, and that opened the door for Reggie Fogelman to drive into the middle. That may not have been a good decision on his part. He gets squeezed up by the 40 of Frignetti, who was also coming up the racetrack, and then the 99 got caught up in this as well. So Reynolds and Frignetti, it looks like Reynolds came down right into the 7 of Samet Oskin, and then also piling in there was the 20 of Zoe Summers, the 91 Addison Jarrell. Trying to figure out who else may have been involved in this one. It looks like it might have just been those drivers. Oh, the 25, Wyatt Walker. Looks like he gets damaged just at the last second, just as he's trying to avoid this incident. That's unfortunately a byproduct of starting in the back here of these races, is normally just you get caught up in incidents just at the very last second when you're trying to avoid them, and you think you got as much wheel cranked to the left as much as you can in order to avoid another truck that's just laying in the middle of the track. But sometimes you just run into their fluid, if there's fluid on the track, that is. Riding along with Sophia Frignetti, who was completely blindsided by this crash that caused our first yellow of the day. We'll be right back for the restart. Stay with us, folks. We're back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're just getting ready to take one to go, and there you see the 3 retirees from this race. The 25, Wyatt Walker, Chris Reynolds in the 99, and also Sophia Frignetti in the number 40. Unfortunately, those 3 drivers have smelled what the rock was cooking. But focusing back in here, as we are just gonna be 2 laps from halfway. Coming to restart on lap number 9 this time around. It is the number 3 of Jordan Watt leading the charge. In second right now is the 17 of Allison Rain. Third is William Brock. Fourth is the number 4 of Owen Crafton. Fifth is Mitchell Hodak. Sixth is Josh Williamson. Seventh right now is the 24 of Madison Tall. Eighth is the 16 of Mitchell Collins. Ninth is the 44. Ninth is the 44 of Derek Hamill, and completing the top 10 is the number 9 of Cole Raymond. As they come back around for the restart, it's single file. Nobody is a lap down or more, even though we lost 3 trucks in that lap 4 incident. We could go green the rest of the way and see some really good green flag racing for the final, 12 laps? Let's witness it right here. Watt gets a really good jump on that restart. How about the 23 of Mitchell Collins? Or sorry, not Mitchell Collins. Josh Williamson getting underneath of Mitchell Hodak for the 5th position, getting a quick jump on him as they come out of turn 1, now into turn 2. All these trucks single file right up until you get to the front now as Allison Rain looks low. Rain in the number 17 trying to go low for the top position, and she's going to take it away. William Brock is going to follow. Now Williamson is going to try to get another position here. Now on Owen Crafton. This is going to be the battle for the 4th position. Oh, but wait a minute. Now they're starting to get pretty racy up here. Oh my, they're 3 wide. Can somebody, don't, in the middle. Okay, good. We've got that part situated. And William Brock jumps out in front after all of that in 1 lap. William Brock restarted in the 3rd position, and now he has taken over the top position. Allison Rain not too far back in 2nd. Josh Williamson in the 3rd position. His teammate Madison Tall is in 4th. Derek Hamill sticking around in the 5th position. How about the 51? That is Abby Walker. Abby Walker right now currently in the 6th spot. Brent Kettingberg sitting back and tugging in the 7th position, watching all of this unfold. Coming around to complete halfway. 10 down, 10 to go. Here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So far, some really good racing. Good, consistent green flag racing, to say the least. William Brock still holding on. Allison Rain trying to make something happen. What I thought she would have the lead, the pack said otherwise. Meanwhile, taking a look at the racing a little bit further back here. How about Jordan Watt trying to get back up into the mix of things? Currently stuck in the 9th position, trying to get by Abby Walker. Mitchell Collins. There's also Emily Anderson back over here. Anderson back to full-time racing. And William Brock has just now lost the lead. Allison Rain goes to the point. Give the lead to the 17. Coming to 9 laps to go. Williamson now moves up to 2nd thanks to a push from his teammate Madison Tall. Brett Kettingberg has now come into the mix, getting by Derek Hamill and William Brock. Now Owen Crafton looking to follow. The 23 of Josh Williamson, not Jordan Williamson, excuse me. But Williamson right now has, if he can get a pretty good push from that 24, he might have a shot at trying to get by Allison Rain. Oh, he drifted up high. He drifted up high, and that's allowing Tall to drive to the inside. So now that will shuffle the 23 out to dry, at least for now. I wouldn't count Josh Williamson out quite yet. He has a really strong number 23. A really strong truck here for this race. But so does the number 17 of Madison Tall. But Kettingberg quietly is moving up inside of the top 3. Now trying to get by the 24. There might have been a little bit of contact coming out of turn 2. They work down the back straightaway at about 180, probably closing into 190 miles an hour. Hard braking into turn 3. Some drivers slide up quite a bit. Allison Rain loving what she sees in her rear view mirror. She's starting to drive away from this. Almost a half a second now is the gap between herself and 2nd place Owen Crafton. Not Cole Raymond, excuse me. The 51 of Abby Walker now moves up inside of the top 5. She went, I believe she was outside of the top 10 at one point. Now she's back inside of the top 5, now inside of the top 3. Williamson looks low. Josh Williamson really wants to win this race, and there's a crash in the back. Anderson hit the wall, somehow miraculously saves it. Looks like the 98 of John Stewart has some damage, and I think there might be damage on the 42 of Elijah Gordon. There might be damage on the 42. Not 100% sure on that, but they're 3 wide back here. They're gonna get that situated. Didn't realize there would be damage to the 61 of Owen Miles. I think that might have been a stack up on the cooldown lap. Maybe the 66 of Ryan Durrani's. Same thing for Zoe Summers, but they're still racing. They're still on track, and we're good to go. Oh boy. We're closing in on some lap traffic here. That's the 45. 45, Shauna Martin. And they're closing in on her in somewhat of a hurry. I expect her to be a factor before this race is over. And she's definitely going to be a factor. What line will she take? She's going to block both lines. More particularly the bottom. Now she blocks the top. Owen Crafton is going to go by. How about Mitchell Collins? Moving up into the second position with 5 to go. The 12. How about the 12? The 12. That is it's Bronson Minnick. Oh, there's a crash! There's a crash! The 24 got turned back up into the track. This is a multi-truck incident. This is a big one on turns 1 and 2. Oh my! Oh my! This is huge! Oh, they're not done yet. They're not done yet. Oh, this is big. This is big. This might be the race for the win right here. Owen Crafton has it. He's going to be leading them all, coming back to the caution flag. This might be the final lap ran under green. Oh, they're coming to the line with 4 to go. That has to be it. That has to be it. Trey Smith was one of those drivers involved. There's also the 30 of Stephen Colon. The 24, Madison Tall. That's such a shame. She was doing really well here in this race. Riding inside of the top 10. Unfortunately got turned. There's the 18 of Colin Cropley. Durrani. There's also Mike Manfer. There was also other trucks collected. There's the 46 of Alex Bonsignor. Bonsignor got caught up in it. This was an absolutely absurdly huge crash. Coming out of turn number 1 and heading into turn 2. Oh, be careful. Be careful, guys. This is pretty much going to end the race. And Owen Crafton is out front. Owen Crafton has been took the lead. Sorry, man, I'm really botching this, but still, Owen Crafton took the lead. What felt like at the right time, and the caution came out coming out of turn number 1, and that most likely is gonna end the race. You see the 47, I believe that's Carter Joey coming into pit road, and that blue and orange number 47. But we're closing in on 3 to go. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at what happened that caused our second and what will most likely be our final yellow here at Indianapolis for the Indiana Bash. So it looks like this 3 wide was lasting for quite a while. Madison Tall was put in the middle of the 3 wide. Right when she made contact, that's the 15 of Nathan Stapleton. So that's Stapleton up high, Madison Tall to his inside, and then Brett Kenningberg made it 3 abreast. And then we're going to slow this down for you here just as they get into turn 1. Kenningberg gets by, and then there's also the 19, that's Joey Miles. And from the looks of things, Miles comes up into the path of the 24 and spins her around on the short straight heading into turn 2. So then everybody else takes evasive action. Joey Miles gets nailed by Stephen Colon, and then it's just a pile up here. William Brock was involved. There's Colon. There's Emily Anderson, Trey Smith. The 18 got collected. There's Bonsinger. There's Mike Manfer. This was a huge crash on the not on the final lap, but this was more so just a huge crash within 5 laps to go. And then you see some of these other slower trucks. They were not done. They were not done wrecking. But you're going to see the 61, I believe he gets into the 38 right there. Spins Trey Smith around. Ryan Durrani collected in that one. Madison Tall squeezed up into the wall one more time. and then tries to save the truck. She does just that. But some of the slower traffic, man, they were not done wrecking yet. They were not done whatsoever. But it's such a shame here for Madison Tall. Tall was doing an absolutely unbelievable job. And unfortunately, just an innocent bystander here within 5 laps to go. One more time. This time at speed. We're going to be using the aerial view for this one. That is some... Man, that one could have been a crash right there between Tull and Stapleton. They probably would have had some words with each other. And that's what caused it. That stack up there with the 45 of Shauna Martin. That checked everybody up, and that stacked them up quite a ways. And then that's what caused this. There's some drivers that are going to be getting some pretty good finishes out of that one. Man, that's a hard hit there. That's for the 18 of Colin Cropley. But then look at some of the slower traffic. Owen Miles miraculously somehow gets by. This Trey Smith, just after getting his truck straightened out, unfortunately was not able to get it straightened out again. Or at least keep it straight, but that's a shame. I was looking forward to a good green flag run to the finish. Unfortunately cut short, but still, that's some good news here for Owen Miles. And unless if nothing happens to him, he's your race winner. So let's go ahead and rejoin the field for this final lap. As they come down to the start-finish line, the starter puts out the white flag. It will be on the final lap here for the inaugural Papa John's Truck Series race, the Indiana Bash. First one under the RCOM banner. And it looks like the number 4 of Owen Crafton is going to come home a winner. If nothing mechanically goes wrong with the truck, he will be in victory lane here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And ironically enough, our first ever RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series race, the first ever RCOM race at Daytona, finished under yellow. And that happened just on the final lap, I believe with 2 to go, actually. I think the caution came out with 2 to go for debris on the track. And it was Ryan Fowler who went on to take the victory. Fowler not in this race. He's not here for this season. But want to wish him the best in whatever he is doing. But today, it's Owen Crafton in the number 4 who will be taking the checkered flag here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway as the first ever RCOM Papa John's Truck Series winner. And it looks like Mitchell Collins just a little too late. If we had stayed green throughout the rest of this race, Collins probably would have had this. Or it could have gone to somebody, maybe even like Bronson Minnick. He'll finish third in this race. Derek Hamill, who stayed up front throughout a vast majority of this, he'll come home 4th. The 75, that would be Bobby Smithfield. Quietly snuck inside of the top 5. Good run for him, as he'll get a really good kickstart here in the points. Brett Kenningberg will finish 6th. Then the 7th spot will belong to Reggie Fogelman. 8th will be the number 3 of Jordan Water, pole sitter. 9th, Allison Rain. And completing the top 10, that will be the number 51 of Abby Walker. Checkered flag is out, and the number 4 of Owen Crafton will be your 2022 Indiana Bash winner. Man, what? Winner? Wow, I completely botched that, but Owen Crafton! Either way, regardless if it's winner or winder, he takes the checkered flag and wins the 2022 Indiana Bash in the midst of Indianapolis 250 week. He'll automatically take the points lead heading into Charlotte in a couple of weeks. And this should be a really good. I think this should be a good action-packed season. My oh my, this is this is absolutely just, I don't know. This was actually a pretty good race, I'd say. We had some good, consistent racing. Good, clean racing at that on top of it. Couple yellows, obviously. But at the end of it all, it was the number 4 of Owen Crafton going to victory lane here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So with that, here's your official results right here on your screen. Owen Miles, the winner. Finishing in second will be Mitchell Collins. Third, not Brett Kenningberg, sorry. Bronson Minnick third. Then the 44 of Derek Hamill ironically finishes in the 4th position. Bobby Smithfield will finish 5th. Brett Kenningberg 6th. 7th will be the number 52 of Reggie Fogelman. 8th, Jordan Watt. 9th will be the number 17 of Allison Rain. And completing your top 10, that is the 51 of Abby Walker. Rest of your results from 11th through 36th will be scrolling on the left-hand side of your screen. My oh my. This was a pretty good, I'd say this was a really good action-packed kind of race. The draft really did come into effect. We did have a couple of crashes. Obviously, some of them were pretty big, some bigger than others. But, man, I hardly would have to believe that we had a dominant truck. I don't think we had any ounce of dominance here in this race. But there is obviously going to be a driver that has led the most laps. You'll probably find out who it is here in just a little bit once we show the points. But this is just the very beginning of the season. Some of the drivers who you thought would actually do really well here to start off the year, especially some of our RCOM originals like Addison Jarrell, for example, did not do the hottest, but I would have to believe that she will definitely have to bounce back going to Charlotte. So this should be a very interesting race. But on top of that, I want to thank you guys a lot for watching here at the RCOM Papa John's Truck Series season opener. If you like this, be sure to give it a like, and if you haven't considered subscribing yet, recommend you do so in order to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. Coming up soon, in a couple of weeks' time, we will be at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It should be a really fun race and first mile and a half of the season, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to handle. So without further ado, thank you guys a lot for watching. More Indianapolis 250 festivities will be coming your way here in the next few days. And that should be it for us. Have a good rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of the Indianapolis 250 festivities. And as far as Indy 100 festivities are concerned, we'll see you right back here tomorrow for the running of the Indianapolis 100.